So let's welcome Sasha, Director of Technical Marketing at ASUS ROG, to introduce it to you.
Thank you, SY. All right, let me talk you through the key specs and features of this mobile powerhouse. And let's start with the obvious part first, the looks. Just like the current ROG phone, we stuck to a very classy and subtle design. So from the front, it's a clean black slab of glass with subtle red accents on the side. And on the rear, you'll find a cyberpunky retro 8-bit pixel dot design that matches our 2021 ROG products. The ROG RGB logo has 2 lighting zones now for even more customizations, and it's not just for looks. You can define colors and different animations for different app notifications as well. And surprise, there's a white version too. So you can now choose between a black or a white ROG phone. And now with the design out of the way, let's dig a bit deeper and talk about specs and features. ROG phones are built from the ground up for gamers. They're not just a rehash of another device. But what makes a phone a gaming phone? SY already hinted at it, the 5 key points that we focus on with our ROG phone series. These are points that, through surveys, customers tell us matter the most to them. That is performance, display, audio, control, and battery life. Performance is the most obvious, and Chris made clear Qualcomm has our back there. Customers want PC and console-level graphics and the highest possible FPS. And thanks to Qualcomm's 5nm Snapdragon 888 5G mobile platform, the ROG Phone 5 delivers exceptional performance and impressive visuals. To truly unleash the full potential and keep the FPS up, not just until the end of a benchmark run, but through the entire game session, we developed an impressive cooling system for our gaming phones, with an ultra-slim vapor chamber and a graphite sheet. To optimize cooling and performance further, we completely changed the layout of the ROG Phone 5. The SoC now sits right smack in the middle of the phone, which allows us to dissipate heat faster and more evenly. Not extreme enough for you? You want active cooling? Whether you really want to push your ROG Phone 5 to the limit and get some extra FPS, or keep your phone super cool, we got you covered. Our revamped Aeroactive Cooler 5 now blows fresh air straight onto the center of the ROG Phone 5, right above the SoC. This drops the surface temperature by up to 15 degrees Celsius and the SoC temperature by up to 10 degrees Celsius. The fan is surprisingly quiet. I can't hear it at all, even when holding it straight to my ears. Pair the best parts with the best cooling and you get record-setting performance. As you can see, the ROG Phone 5 is a true portable powerhouse. Alright, those specs and benchmark scores sound impressive, but let's look at what this is all about, having a blast. You might be surprised we picked this particular game title and not a shooter, but Genshin Impact features complex and beautiful environments that are actually very demanding and can really push phones to their limit. And as you can see, we're able to run this demanding title at a stable, high FPS for a smooth, immersive experience without any lag or stutter. And these stats are from a long session, showing that the ROG Phone 5 can deliver impressive performance for hours on end. But what good would all this performance be with a small, bleak display? From a gaming phone, our customers expect the largest possible display with vibrant colors and deep blacks, running at the highest possible refresh rate. And thanks to our close partnership with Samsung Display, the ROG Phone 5 comes with the latest and greatest in OLED goodness. This year we were able to squeeze an even larger display into our ROG Phone 5, going from 6.6 to 6.8 inches. And that's with an almost identical chassis. The ROG Phone 5 is only 2 mm longer and 1 mm wider than the current model. Naturally, we didn't compromise on anything. With a 144 Hz refresh rate, 1 millisecond gray-to-gray response time, and a delta E below 1. All of this premium display goodness comes protected by the toughest ever Gorilla Glass Victus. But even the best display can only look as good as the content you feed it. So we added a Pixelworks i6 visual processor to the ROG Phone 5 to supercharge videos and games, make them even more vibrant, minimize color banding and black crush, and essentially turn SDR content into HDR content. While purists will probably want to turn it off, it really does make videos and games look even better. Higher refresh rates really help a lot in making games look and feel more smooth and immersive as well. You're watching a 60 Hz video here, so this is just an example of the benefits. But for any of you who aren't convinced and can't tell the difference between 60 Hz and 120 Hz right away, you can give it a try for just a single match on a friend's phone, and trust me, once you get used to 120 Hz and above, it's painful to go back to 60 Hz. And on phones, displays aren't just for viewing, they're also the primary input method. We developed our own custom supercharged touchscreen system that clocks at an insane 300 Hz for super low input latency. This allows taps to be recognized almost instantly, which can really give you a competitive advantage in fast-paced multiplayer games. Another common input mechanic in mobile games are sliding motions and swipes. In games like LOL Rift Rivals, for example, being able to swipe faster and more precisely can really turn a match around. And here too, the supercharged 300 Hz touch input system on the ROG Phone 5 is notably more responsive. People often underestimate how much more immersive an experience is with good audio. The GameFX sound system on the ROG Phone 5 comes with dual 7-magnet speakers for nicely balanced stereo audio. And you'll find that compared to other phones, the ROG Phone 5 is bass, and a complete relayout of the PCB, we were able to bring back the 3.5mm audio jack. And since we knew right from the beginning we were bringing it back, we decided to go all out. The ROG Phone 5 comes with a top-of-the-line ESS headphone deck. Audio is very subjective though, and every headset sounds slightly different. That's why we provide our own Audio Wizard app with 4 professionally tuned profiles by Direct, along with a fully customizable equalizer control deck. The next part that really sets gaming phones apart from regular phones is input. You want full control over your games, low latency, high precision, and ideally keep as little of the display as possible blocked by your hands. Our latest AirTrigger 5 control system combines several input and control methods to achieve just that. Our ultrasonic AirTrigger buttons on the top corners of the phone come in really handy here. And we greatly expanded the motion control system on the ROG Phone 5. We can now detect several distinct movements, which you can then map to different button presses. Some of this is surprisingly intuitive. I'm sure we've all seen somebody play a jump and run game and pull up the gamepad when jumping. And flicking controllers up or down to reload is a very common mechanic in arcades and with VR controllers. You can now do this with your ROG Phone 5 too. Haptic feedback really adds a lot of immersion as well. With our brand new haptic audio feature, you can now add tactile feedback to shooters. So when you shoot your gun, you not only hear it, but you feel each shot. It's only a hint of a recoil or a gamepad rumble, but it really adds to the immersion. And the last but arguably most important point that separates regular phones from gaming phones, battery size. Our ROG phones have a reputation for incredible stamina, and the 6000 mAh 22Wh monster battery in the ROG Phone 5 continues this tradition. There are tablets with smaller battery packs. What's new is that we split the battery into 2 parts. This allows us to center the SoC, but also improves battery thermals. Thanks to a new cell design, we can now also save. So yeah, record-setting performance, a top-of-the-line 144Hz OLED display, impressive audio, and plenty of low-latency input methods. But what good is all of this if you run out of battery in the heat of the match? As you can see, the ROG Phone 5 is able to game for hours on end, notably longer than other phones on the market. We were the first to bring a side charging port to phones, and naturally the ROG Phone 5 keeps it. We offer you 2 Type-C ports to charge and connect accessory to. So whether you watch movies or play games in landscape mode or use your phone in portrait mode, you always have a perfectly placed port. Armoury Crate is our one-stop control center for all features and games on your phone. You can set up and customize scenario profiles for each app, not just games, and individually tune performance settings and more. We offer you several different operating modes to balance battery, performance, and temperatures. While X mode boosts your gaming performance by pushing the SoC to the max, we now have something even more extreme. With our Aeroactive Cooler 5, you can now unlock X mode Plus for even higher clocks and FPS. Under Advanced Settings, there are dozens of detailed Android and SoC tuning options to squeeze out every drop of performance. Remember that two-zone ROG RGB logo I mentioned earlier? Like I said, it's not just cosmetic, but actually functional. In Armory Crate, you can define color combination or animations to be tied to system events and app notifications. You can have it flash white and teal for email notifications, for example. Impressive camera module largely untouched in the ROG Phone 5. It uses the same main sensor as the Zenfone 7 Pro, which famously won the MKBHD blind camera competition, where the audience voted on pictures without knowing which phone they were actually taken with. The camera on the ROG Phone 5 definitely won't hold you back. Alright, good people, that sums up everything about the ROG Phone 5. Next up, let's look at our accessory lineup. Remember the Aeroactive Cooler 5? There's even more to it. Besides improved cooling and performance, it also comes with a bottom-facing 3.5mm audio jack, and a set of very nice clicky trigger buttons, and a kickstand too. On top of that, we fine-tuned our popular ROG Kunai Gamepad. You can use it as a super compact Bluetooth controller or split it up and attach it to either side of the ROG Phone 5. Either way, it adds plenty of physical buttons for low latency tactile input and keeps the entire display free of your fingers, in some games doubling the effective screen size. If you want more RGB, hey, we got you covered too. Our brand new lighting armor case supersizes the RGB ROG logo on the back of the phone. The ROG Phone 5 already delivers impressive built-in audio, but if you want better immersion, especially in noisy environments, we got several headsets options for you. First up, our ROG Cetra 2 active noise cancelling in-ear headphones. I really like this cool lightweight case they come with, which has drivers for better audio, softer and more comfy silicone rubber tips and fins, and the mics are in each earbud now. So instead of talking into the inline remote, you can speak freely and naturally. There's a convenient ANC ambient mode for when you do want to hear other people for a quick chat without having to pull the earbuds out of your ears. The Cetra 2 come with USB Type-C and AuraSync compatible RGB lighting, and there's a 3.5mm core version as well. I actually just bought a wireless ROG Strix Go 2.4, but I can't believe right now there's a Bluetooth version and I'm really excited for this one. With a battery life of up to 45 hours, it also works with a 3.5mm cable, so you can use it with consoles and pretty much any device, making it very versatile. I said we were done talking about the ROG Phone 5. Well, I lied. There's another surprise we have for you today. Meet the ROG Phone 5 Pro. The ROG Phone 5 Pro comes with our ROG Vision second display. This 64 by 256 color PM OLED display is really eye-catching and fun to play around with. The ROG Vision display is fully customizable and can show a number of animations based on system events. For example, if your ROG Phone 5 Pro is charging, there's an incoming call, X mode is enabled, and so on.